Yeah.
That video right there, Kai.
Oh my God.
Kai, go up to the video right there. Boom. Hit that. They both stand up at the same time. Stand up, Mike. You know he's like, hey, what's up, Mini Mike? How's it feel to be
Barron left the screen. He was so tall.
His head is above the screen.
So guys, Derek, moreplates.com. Today we are going to be doing a natty or not on Barron Trump. He is apparently recently showing off his 6'7" height in New York City. So here he is with his mom in Manhattan, looking like a goddamn skyscraper. Melania Trump was spotted leaving the Trump Tower in Manhattan on Wednesday. You can see him here on the left. This fucking up next thing is in the way. Here we go. 15-year-old towered over his mom. And yeah, I can read it. Yeah, they take so long before transitions. While helpfully carrying the former First Lady's limited edition bag. All right. New York Post. Oh, that's it. All right. So yeah, so the guy's he's tall as fuck. He is indeed the new Trump Tower, according to the New York Post. Teenage former first son Barron Trump was photographed in the Big Apple this week, towering over his 5'11" mom Melania. The rarely photographed youngest son of former President Trump is already 6 feet 7 inches tall, even though he only just turned 15. Barron is already 4 inches taller than his dad, who was 6'3". So Donald Trump is 6'3" apparently. He looked every inch of it on Wednesday when he stood head and shoulders over his mom. Blah blah blah. The rare Louis Vuitton bag cost $4,000. Fuck. Paling in comparison to the $11,000 Hermes Birkin bag his mom toted. Goddamn, son. Let's see. Former model Melania. Fuck, who cares about that? Okay, so former president, 6'3". They mentioned that already. Even though he's just 15, Barron has sprouted since leaving the White House. Barron is 6'7". Can you believe it? And he's 15, Trump said. Eric is short. He's only 6'6". He joked of his 37-year-old son, who was previously the tallest in the family. So obviously, if you're this rich, you have, you know, the best, I don't know, resources and like connections and shit. You know, is there any reason you would not give your, you know, descendants who are going to essentially, you know, maintain the integrity of your name and, you know, I don't know, run for office in the future or whatever the fuck, would you not want to make them the most hyper elite individual possible? You know, most people wouldn't. You know, most people would not intervene in their 15-year-old's development with pharmacology, but a lot of people did say this would be an interesting idea for me to cover because the kid is blowing everyone out of the water in his family, or at least, you know, it's not blowing them out of the water yet, but he's like getting there. Like 15 years old, he's already the tallest one. So what's the likelihood that Trump is giving him the old, not the Sazul, but the, there's not really a fucking slang term for HGH, to be honest, giving him the GH. So one thing I wanted to go into is the difference between gigantism and acromegaly, because this is something that often is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of ambiguous what the difference is between the two. And the main thing is gigantism occurs when growth hormone hypersecretion occurs before the fusion of the long bone epiphysis, I don't even know how to pronounce that, and is characterized by tall structure. So acromegaly, on the other hand, this is typically when you see like a lot of bodybuilders, to be honest, when they expose themselves to GH for years on end, they start to develop pretty like caveman-like features, enlargement of the nose, you know, increased, you know, connective tissue, and blatant development in, you know, actual facial characteristics and whatnot that are indicative of almost like a caveman-like, you know, structure essentially. Acromegaly occurs when GH hypersecretion occurs after the fusion of the epiphysis, I had to look it up, leading to large extremities and characteristic facies. This activity explains the evaluation and management of gigantism and acromegaly and emphasizes the role of the interprofessional team in improving the care for patients with this condition. So when you see gigantism versus acromegaly, if we're talking about somebody who is you know, mid-puberty still, somebody who has not finished and had that growth plate closure, you can get more of a uniform growth pattern, it seems, than somebody who has acromegaly who's already done growing and they're just, you know, Like, think of a bodybuilder who's never going to grow taller, but he's just exposing himself to super physiological amounts of IGF-1 subsequent to GH administration. That's like, you know, the development of something like acromegaly, whereas now it's not actual acromegaly through like a fucking tumor or something, but it is like self-inducing acromegaly, and that's the kind of development you see in individuals that have this kind of a disorder. But in gigantism, again, it's not like you aren't going to look, you know, GH like a guy who's been on a ton of GH, but it says here, before growth plate closure, you end up by a tall stature. So it's more like you can actually get uniform development to the point where you don't just have like a disproportionately like, I don't know, caveman-like characteristics in your face and like, you know, fucked up limbs and shit. Not even just like, you know, fingers and feet and shit like that. Rather, you get like uniform bone growth in a length, you know, context as well. So again, there's been more than one thread about this online. It wasn't just like a unique like subreddit, you know, request or something. Even on Quora.com, do you think Barron Trump is on human growth hormone? Considering at age 14, he's 6'6" to 6'7" tall. So this was last year, I guess. At age 12, he was 6'3". His limb length and proportions look unnatural. Siddharth Nair says, the answer would be no. He has 6 foot plus parents and has access to good nutrition coupled with a thriving environment does help his case a lot. So again, yeah, that is definitely a good point in that he has resources that, you know, Donald definitely didn't when he was a kid, and probably that Eric didn't have when he was a kid, in terms of the education is constantly developing, and the like preconceived or like the, you know, notions around like good diet models and shit, like stuff we are relearning constantly, more education being brought to the forefront and teaching people how to eat, how to exercise, sleep hygiene, stuff like this was not very well understood, like not that long ago, to a point where individuals were intentionally avoiding like fat intake, or intentionally avoiding carbs like the plague, or you know what I mean? Like restricting themselves to certain things, avoiding certain good, healthy foods, eating, you know, processed bullshit because, you know, they were led to believe it might be better because, you know, like fill in the blank reason, not having information about, you know, how to prevent the inhibition of melatonin before you get to sleep. Like a bunch of just like random fucking things we've learned over the years that, you know, his, you know, older siblings as well as his dad probably didn't, you know. So it's certainly plausible that he could just have better nutrition, better resources, better information, and also just genetically be predisposed to growing taller than everyone. Because again, I guess Eric got to 6'6" apparently, which is like barely shorter than Barron. And Barron, how much taller is he gonna get? We don't really know yet. But for now, it's not like he's disproportionately taller than everyone in the family yet. Like he's the tallest, but it's not like he's like shitting on everyone yet at this point. Melania Trump is 6'1", while Trump claims to be 6'3". We do know that he does put pumps. So let us take his height to be 6'2". So really not surprising that Barron is 6'7" at age 14. He might well be a 7-footer, or this was just his growth spurt, and now he might only grow an inch or two, but growth hormone does not seem probable. I think that he's a teenager going through the most awkward stage of his life, which includes rapid growth spurts and uneven limbs. I also think that no matter how deplorable his father is, it is inappropriate to subject a 14-year-old to mean-spirited bullying speculation. I don't think it's mean-spirited. Like, it's just a fucking natty or not. You know, you're trying to figure out, you know, how performance-enhanced he could be or couldn't be. I'm pretty sure he's not on growth hormones. He's been tall for his age for a very long time. It could be a product of his genetics, or he may have acromegaly, which is a condition in which, okay, obviously, you know, how useful are these comments in a medical context? Are they going to be accurate? Like this guy already said he may have acromegaly, which, you know, I'm pretty fucking sure he does not. Can't see any reason to suspect HGH usage. So I don't know what the qualifications of people are on Quora. Medically qualified since 1981. Like, I don't know what that means exactly. Conrad just lives in Europe. That's his qualification. John Patterson studied at a fucking high school, apparently. So I don't know. Maybe this wasn't the best thread to bring up, but it was like one of the most relevant ones that were strictly like Natty or Nottingham. Yeah, like there's a lot of other ones too. But anyways, this is the one I had brought up. So what do I think? I think that he is genetically blessed. I think he is probably has access to the resources and the, you know, high quality nutrition and whatnot in order to accommodate the best likelihood for him to grow taller. I don't think this is a case of PED use. You know, I think this is like in general, maybe not all the time, to be honest. Like you see individuals who aren't, they don't have flagship markers of GH use or anything like that, but in individuals who push the envelope aggressively with the amount of GH to actually like push your height into like a new stratosphere than what you would otherwise have gotten if you did use nothing. In general, you're gonna see some like facial development in a like unfavorable context from a like almost looking like a caveman, you know? Like I've done a few videos on guys who I speculate have used growth hormone to grow in their teen years to play in the NBA, and they ended up being like fucking 7 foot plus, but they also had flagship characteristics, you know, indicative of like a fuck ton of GH exposure. So does Barron look like he has that? No, like I think he looks like a normal kid who's just tall as fuck. And, you know, we'll see, you know, how it plays out. If he ends up like 7 feet plus, maybe I'll revisit the topic. But for now, I think he's just, you know, the one who got the best set of, you know, like genetic cards dealt in his favor from his family tree in terms of height. You know, it's not very uncommon for guys to outgrow their dads and moms. And obviously Eric, I guess, is 6'6". So is it so unreasonable to assume that Barron might be 6'7"? I don't think so. So like I said, you know, summarization is, I think, good nutrition, you know, good, you know, lifestyle habits, and, you know, maybe not even, maybe just like, you know, genetically predisposed. How many people are going to become tall, like, regardless of what they fucking do? Like, you know, a lot of people that are destined to be tall will fucking be tall. A lot of guys who are destined to be short are going to be short. That's just, you know, how it works. The amount of impact, you know, nutrition and stuff plays, it's obviously fairly significant. Like, it's very significant. These are literally the building blocks for facilitating these, you know, physiologic functions and, you know, growth processes and whatnot. But so do I think this is like the differentiating factor, his resources, his nutrition, his whatever? I don't necessarily know. All I know is that I think it's in the realm of plausibility that he is indeed natural as a 15-year-old who has just happened to get the best set of height genetics from his, you know, family tree. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think he is on GH? Why or why not? All the comments help the algorithm. They're much appreciated. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplates.com. Follow me on Instagram at moreplates.dates, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below. My TRT clinic, it's all telemedicine from the comfort of your own home. Get high quality oversight from doctors who actually know how to interpret biomarkers and create an individualized plan specific for you, tailored to your needs, as opposed to a cookie cutter doctor that's going to just put you, try and, you know, treat you like a steroid mill and put you on 200 megs of test, HCG, and Astrazole, kick you out the door. We make our money on our high quality services and consultations rather than just on markups on medication. So if you want to check that out, get high quality doctor oversight from guys I've vetted that represent the same level of information we put out on this channel, you can check it out. It is in the description below, as well as anything else I'm associated with. Gorilla Mind, nootropic formulas, Gorilla Mode, pre-workout formulas that design myself from scratch. Recommended diet model for growing as tall as physically possible during your youth, as well as for individuals trying to gain maximum amounts of muscle and strength in, you know, whatever endeavors you have in sports, powerlifting, bodybuilding, whatever it is. Check it out. It is in the video description below, and I would definitely vouch for it. And anything else I'm associated with, it is all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.